Good morning, Srufia, everyone. Sound is audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So good morning, all. We will quickly do one revision first because we started with a new chapter. So new formulae, new concepts. So we will do a quick revision. Okay. So long back when we started electric charge and field chapter, electric charge and field first chapter, I told you that if you keep a charge in a electric field, if you keep a charge in a electric field, then the electrostatic force is given by Q into E. Right? A very simple formula. No one asked how this formula comes. It was just defined like this. This was the way the force was defined on a charge due to electric field. Good morning, good morning. So this is the force on a charge due to electric field. You can notice something. If electric field is here, force also will be here. If it is a positive charge. If it is a negative charge, the force will be here. If it is a negative charge. Okay. So like this, very simple was the formula for electrostatic force due to electric field. And direction also very simple. Wherever is electric field, there will be force if the charge is positive. And if the charge is negative, wherever is electric field, opposite to that will be the force. But when we came to magnetic field, Solpa things are different. So what happens is, first of all, one thing you should remember is a charge will feel magnetic force due to magnetic field only if the charge is moving. That is why the chapter's name is also moving charge and magnetism. And I gave you reason for this. The reason was Oersted discovered that it is not charge at rest which produces magnetic field. What produces magnetic field is current. And when I say current, it means what? Moving charge. So if moving charge produces magnetic field, then obviously moving charge will experience force also due to magnetic field. So it is very important that the charge is moving. So if some charge is moving with velocity v bar, right? It is a vector quantity, so you have to mention the direction also. In a magnetic field b bar with angle theta, then the force is given by magnetic force. Let me write M. It is given by Q cross product of velocity and magnetic field. Okay. So usually when we want the value of the force, see, people are interested in how much force is acting. How much matlab what? Magnitude. So when you want magnitude, you don't care about cross product, right? You have to know what the cross product means. So while calculating magnitude, we write QVB sine theta. And this comes from your first PU basic mathematics. First PU basic mathematics, right? Sir, B magnetic field. Yeah. You need to unmute yourself. Yeah. So let's discuss now. So when the charge is moving with some velocity in a magnetic field, then it experiences a magnetic force given by this formula, QVB sine theta. And direction you have to find by using the cross product rule. So what you have to do, you have to curl your fingers like this in this plane. So first you have to find the plane containing these two. So if velocity is in the board, magnetic field is also in the board, then your magnetic force will be perpendicular to the board. Now the question is inward or outward. Can you tell me for this question, will it be inward or outward? Velocity cross magnetic field. See, first vector, second vector. If you curl your fingers like this, that is wrong, because you have to go through smaller angle. So this is the smaller angle. So you have to curl your fingers this way, V cross B. So thumb is pointing inside. So this will feel a magnetic force inside the board. Okay, and this is how we show any vector which is inward. So magnetic force will be inward. Understood? Okay. Then I told you that if a charge is moving perpendicular to a magnetic field, so if I apply magnetic field into the board, uniform magnetic field like this. Okay, and let us say a charge is coming like this with some velocity v. If the charge is positive, then where will be the force? V is here, magnetic field is down, so V cross B, up. So because of this force, it will start going like this, and therefore you know it will make a circle. Already we have discussed, because when it will reach here, velocity will be here. Now where will be the force? Velocity is here, magnetic field is inside the board, so it will be V cross B. Force will be this side. So when it was here, force was this side. When it is here, force was this side. Right? So since the force is acting towards the fixed point, which is center, it starts moving in a circle. Of course, for that, magnetic field should be everywhere. Okay? If your velocity is too high, then it is possible that it may come out here. It may, see, if velocity is very high, it may try to make a very big circle. So if the circle is very big and your magnetic field is up to here only. So suppose your magnetic field is only up to here and your velocity is very high, then what will happen? It will turn like this, and once it comes here, it wants to go circle, but once it comes out, there is no magnetic field. No magnetic field, no magnetic force. So it will go in a straight line. Why straight line? Newton's first law. If there is no force, a body continues to move in a straight line. So remember, when I say it moves in a circle, I am assuming there is magnetic field everywhere. Everywhere. Okay, later when we do certain MCQs, that time we will study what happens if there is magnetic field in a small part. So we found the radius of this. This is moving, the charge will move in a circular path with some radius. And what was the formula for radius? mv by qb. Correct or not? And then we calculated the time period also. What was the time period? 2 pi m by qb. Just check once if I have written correctly. So here you notice something. You notice something, everyone. If magnetic field is inside the board and charge is coming like this, it starts going in this circle. So last class I told you to remember that. So the charge always moves around the magnetic field. If the magnetic field is uniform like this, then the charge will move around the magnetic field. Which means if I apply magnetic field this side, I can do like that also, no? So if I apply magnetic field this side and charge is coming like this, then it will start going in this circle. The charge will go in this circle. Okay, so a charge coming perpendicular like this will start moving in a circle. This way or this way, that you have to find the force that you try, but it will start moving in a circle with some radius r. Okay, students. So this diagram can be shown this way also. And the radius is given by this formula. How to derive this formula? Simple. if the force is towards the center, that force must be centripetal force. So whatever is the magnetic force, that should be equal to centripetal force, mv square by r. And magnetic force, you know, just now I studied qvb sine theta. But here the velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field. So since velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field, this was 1. Right? Sine 90 degree. Sine 90 degree will be 1. Okay. So this was the revision. Let us start another similar topic. We will continue about charge moving in magnetic field. But all the time the charge may not come perpendicular to magnetic field. So it is very possible, look here, if the charge is coming like this, if the magnetic field is like this and the charge comes perpendicular, then it starts moving in a circle around the magnetic field. But it is possible I will throw the charge like this, okay, at some angle. Then what will happen? So let us study that. So special case. Okay, this is there for board exam also, so look carefully. If velocity vector is not perpendicular to magnetic field vector, if it is not perpendicular, so let us draw a diagram. So let us say this is your magnetic field, uniform magnetic field, okay, and charge is coming not perpendicular. If it comes perpendicular with some velocity v, then it makes a circle here, you know. But let us say it is coming at some angle like this, theta. Okay, then what to do? Then simple, in vectors you know what to do. When you want velocity which is perpendicular to magnetic field, you want that velocity in this formula. See, in this formula, this v was perpendicular to magnetic field. Remember or not, ma? When we write this formula, velocity was perpendicular to magnetic field. If it is not perpendicular, then what will we do? Components you have to take. So this velocity I can divide into two components. One here, one here. This component is parallel to your magnetic field, and this is the adjacent side of this triangle. If I make a triangle here, this is the adjacent side. So this will be your v cos theta, which I will write v parallel like that. So v parallel means the component of velocity parallel to magnetic field. And this will be your which component? V sine theta, which I will write v perpendicular. Okay, so once I do like this, what will be the formula for the radius now? No need to again derive. No need to again derive. Directly we can write this formula. M V, but this V I told should be perpendicular to magnetic field. So perpendicular component only you should use, divided by QB. So R will be M. What is V perpendicular? V sine theta. V sine theta by QB. So this is how the formula will slightly change. This is how this formula will slightly change if velocity is at some angle theta with respect to magnetic field. Again, if this velocity was perpendicular like this, then theta will be 90. Put 90 here, you will get this answer. Okay. Time period has nothing to do with velocity here. It only depends on the charge, the mass, and the magnetic field. So time period will remain same. Okay, so time period has nothing to do with velocity. So time period will remain same, but radius will slightly change. Now, can you tell me one thing? Will this continue to move in this circle like this, like before? Will it continue to move like before? Before what I told, if this is the magnetic field, it will move in this circle if it is coming perpendicular. Now will it? No, it will not, because this velocity is also there now. Yes or no? So look carefully now. Okay, very good. Some of you have answered. Now look here. this velocity, which is perpendicular, that will try to make it move in a circle like this one did. So this velocity will make it move in a circle. But this velocity, which is parallel to magnetic field, so this velocity will take the particle this side. So it has to move in the circle because there is a component of velocity perpendicular to magnetic field. So whenever the velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field, it moves in a circular path. Already we have studied. So this velocity component is perpendicular to magnetic field. So this will make it move in a circle. But this velocity is parallel to magnetic field. So this velocity will take the charge this side. So it will move in this kind of path. Like this. So this will be the trajectory of the charge. Okay. Now it may not be exactly matching with the top magnetic field. Magnetic field can be here. It is a, see, field is a region. Field is a region. So region will be everywhere. No. Okay, students. So be very, very careful. So the path will be, we write it as helical path, or as Tanuj is saying, spiral also we can say. But for exam purpose, remember this name, helical path. 1 mark question only this is asked. Okay, they will ask you what kind of path it makes when the velocity vector is not perpendicular to magnetic field. Okay, again read the question properly. Sometimes they will say it is perpendicular. Then you have to say circular. If it is not perpendicular, it moves in a helical path. Okay. Then this distance also, sometimes they will ask you to derive this distance. So this distance is called pitch. P-I-T-C-H. I think those who have done first PU experiment of screw gauge, you must have learned that in one complete rotation, how much distance the screw will move. That is called pitch. So it starts, let us say here, then in one complete rotation, it goes here, right? Because usually if this velocity was not there, then what will happen in one time period? It will start from here, come back here in the same plane. But because of this velocity, it goes this side. So it goes something like this. Okay, here. Then again it repeats. So that distance is called pitch. So till here you write. So let me write down what should be the formula for pitch now. So pitch will be defined as distance moved by the charge parallel to magnetic field in one time period, in one revolution, in one rotation. Okay, that is called pitch. Distance moved parallel to magnetic field, this distance. So what will be the formula for that? Well, it is distance and there is no acceleration in this problem, because no acceleration matlab the speed doesn't change. Already I have discussed with you, magnetic field never changes the speed. It only changes the velocity vector. That doesn't mean there is no acceleration, because acceleration means rate of change of velocity. And when something goes in a circle, obviously there is acceleration all the time, because circular motion means accelerated motion. Velocity is changing all the time. So what will be the pitch here? Let us write. Now in textbooks they write P only, but P we are using for momentum also. So you have to be slightly careful. Okay. So let me write pitch only, but let me put P like this. Okay, with the name I am writing so that you don't confuse. So that will be distance. Here I want this distance. So that will be velocity in this direction into time period. Right? Distance is speed into time. No acceleration. No acceleration in this direction. So don't write half at square. Whatever acceleration is towards the center. Centripetal acceleration. So that you don't write. So that will be equal to, what was V parallel? V cos theta right? V parallel is V cos theta, and time period is 2 pi m by q. Again, you can notice if velocity was perpendicular to magnetic field, theta will be 90 degree. And this will be how much? If theta is 90 degree, this will be 0. 0. Matlab, there is no pitch. Obviously, because if it comes perpendicular, it moves in only this circle. It doesn't go this side. And you can even change the radius of this. You can make the charge move this way also. Like this also. You can make the charge move this way also by adjusting the magnetic field. By adjusting the magnetic field at different region. And for that we use usually electromagnets. Electromagnets. Later we will study, don't worry. In school also little knowledge you have, I know. So using electromagnet, if I apply varying magnetic field, changing magnetic field, then you know the radius is mv perpendicular by qb. Right? So you can see the radius is inversely proportional to the strength of the magnetic field. So wherever magnetic field is weak, the radius will be large. Wherever magnetic field is strong, the radius will be small. So here magnetic field is weak, here magnetic field is strong. This is very useful in fusion reactors. Anyways, we will not discuss it right now. Some last chapter, nuclear fusion we have to study. So that time it will come. But at least let me write the name. Fusion reactors. Okay. Many countries have already started building fusion reactors. Fission reactor is very popular, but fusion reactor is not. Distance between each piece will be same. As long as this speed doesn't change. Okay, Rohit, as long as this speed is constant, it will not change. This will be same. But if you apply electric field in this direction at the same time, then it keeps increasing. Yeah, time period, it doesn't depend on velocity only. It doesn't depend on velocity only. Okay. So time period of revolution is a constant for a charge moving in a circular path. Check that yourself. Because it has nothing to do with velocity. The formula has nothing to do. Okay. Now let me give you one very important application of whatever we are studying. Okay. So, this is your Earth. So this is just an application. Very interesting application. I really like this part. So this is Earth. So Earth has its own magnetic field. So this is how the magnetic field lines look like. Okay, more you can draw if you want. So these are the magnetic field lines outside the Earth. Okay, later we will study about this. There is a chapter called Earth's magnetism. Now from outer space, just like volcanoes and all occur in Earth, volcano occurs on Earth. Similarly, it occurs in sun and stars also. They keep vomiting. This sun and all keep vomiting fast moving particles. And those particles come towards Earth. They go in all directions. So most of them come towards Earth also. So these particles which come towards Earth, these are called cosmic rays. Cosmic rays. Okay, they come from all directions. Cosmic rays. Okay, students. These cosmic rays actually contain 90%, more than 90% is nothing but fast moving protons. So these cosmic rays contain mainly fast moving protons. So these protons, when they come with such a high velocity, if this Earth's magnetic field was not there, and here Pankaj sir is living in the equator, then all these cosmic rays will hit me. Chances are, if they enter my body, or if they form some reactions with some molecules and form radon gas, then it is possible that I inhale the radon gas, and then once I inhale the radon gas, it is a radioactive substance. So it starts producing alpha, beta, gamma rays, and that will be inside my body. So all these particles, they can create ionization of your cells inside. Matlab, if your DNA structure gets ionized, if you change the number of electrons in the atom, the property of the atom will change or not? If you change the number of electrons in the atom by removing the electrons, the property of the atom will change or not? It will 100% change, right? You take sodium, you take just before sodium there is what? Neon. So the difference is only one electron, but one is so reactive, one is not reactive only. So just a difference of one electron also produces such a different change in the chemical property, chemical behavior. So if your DNA changes, then you get changed. So you don't behave, you don't have a, you will not have a proper, behavior as you have. So that is very dangerous. However, the good thing is what? This Earth's magnetic field, what it will do when the charges will come at some angle, some of them may come perpendicularly, so they will start moving in circle. Most of them will come at some angle. So once they come at an angle, depending from here or here, they may spiral around the magnetic field. They will spiral around the magnetic field. Understood or not? And as they spiral around the magnetic field, instead of coming towards here, they all will end here. They will all end up this side, near the poles. And you know that luckily most of the people live in the equator side only. In poles, we just go for some expedition and all. Nobody lives there throughout the year, right? So these particles which are going like this will hit the atmosphere in the poles. So when it hits the molecules of the atmosphere, oxygen, nitrogen, they get excited. When they get excited, the electrons go to higher level. When they come down to lower level, after excitation, it will come down, no? So when it comes down to lower level, it emits the energy in the form of light. And depending on the kind of molecules, you will see colors. You will see colors. And I hope all of you know that this is what is called auroras. Okay. So if you look the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, okay, at night time like that, you will see beautiful green, yellow, orange color in the sky, like a blanket. It looks like a blanket of colors, which will keep shimmering here and there because of the wind, and it looks beautiful. So when my sister and I see the same phenomenon, we cannot see directly. We are living in the near the equator, but when we see in the TV like that, my sister will be very happy. Wow, what colors like that. I'm also very happy, but I know what is happening. I know that the charges coming are moving in that spiral path around the magnetic field, bombarding with the nuclear atoms, and thus the light is formed. So physics always shows you the hidden beauty in nature. There are many such phenomena which whenever possible I try to explain, but since we have to complete syllabus also, MCQs also, learning exercise also, numericals also, I don't get so much time to tell you so many fascinating things. But whenever possible, I will try. Okay. So this is all about auroras, okay, in southern hemisphere and northern hemisphere. This is not important for your exam purpose, but just for your knowledge sake, I have discussed. Fine. Okay. Now comes a very, very important derivation. Okay, that sometimes come for 3 marks. Sometimes same derivation comes for 5 marks also. Very funny it is. So the topic is, let me explain the topic also. Till now what we have studied, moving charge in a magnetic field experiences a magnetic force. Repeat once, moving charge in magnetic field, external magnetic field, experiences a magnetic force. That means in a wire, if I put current, if I allow current to flow using battery or whatever you want, if there is a current, then current is also moving charge. Electrons are moving, electrons have charge. So if there is a current carrying wire, and I keep it in external magnetic field, then since the moving charge will feel a magnetic force, it means the wire will feel a magnetic force. If every atom in my body feels a force, I will feel a force, right? Similarly, all the moving electrons, only the moving electrons, if they feel the force, the wire will also feel the force. And that derivation we have to do. So the topic is magnetic force on a straight. First, we will make it straight for board syllabus. For board syllabus, the wire should be straight. Straight current carrying wire. Current carrying wire in a external magnetic field. External. Okay, students, please remember, I cannot produce magnetic field which will apply force on myself, on me itself. Okay, I will produce magnetic field which will exert force on you. And if you have current, you will also feel a force. Only moving charge, matlab current will experience magnetic force. So this is external magnetic field. So to do this derivation, one small thing about vectors we need to remember. So let us just recap. First PU. If this is A bar and this is B bar, if two vectors have opposite direction, but any magnitude may be equal, may not be equal, I don't care. But if two vectors are equal if two vectors have any magnitude, but opposite direction, then there is a definite relationship between the vectors, and that is A bar B is minus B bar A. First you write down, then I will explain. First you write down, then I will explain. Do you want me to explain or you will memorize? How many things you will memorize, ma? Let me explain better. Okay. Yeah, Nisarga, it is auroras. Fine. So shall I explain this quickly? Let me explain. Very simple it is. Let us say here there is a unit vector n cap, along which vector I have taken A bar. Then you know from the knowledge of vectors, which we have used in first chapter also. A bar is magnitude of A bar, which we write simply A times this unit vector. Right? And for B bar, what you can write? For B bar, magnitude of B and unit vector in this direction. But already n cap you have written here. So if you do minus n cap, it will be here, no? Minus n cap. Correct or not? Unit vectors have always equal magnitude. So if you do ulta, they will become negative vector. So if n cap is here, I can say minus n cap is here. So for B bar, I can write minus n cap. Okay, students, minus. Then what you do, substitute for n cap from here. A bar by A. Cross multiply. B bar A will be minus B A bar. Understood? Yes or no? See, Solpa order is different, but that doesn't matter. This is magnitude. If it is magnitude, it is a number. A number you can multiply here or here, it doesn't matter. So this is the formula you need to remember to understand the next derivation. During the last part, we will need this. Okay? Write down quickly. So let me remove the title because I need some space. So let us say this is your straight wire. I will slightly show it bigger. And there is current I like this. Current I. Okay. The length of the wire is L. You all know if the current is in this direction, the free electrons will have a drift velocity in this direction. Drift velocity in the opposite direction. Already you know. Let me not waste too much time. Now I will apply a magnetic field, external magnetic. If you keep the wire like this, it will stay like this only, Newton's first law. Now I will apply magnetic field in some direction, V1. And the angle between the direction of current and magnetic field, let us call that angle theta. So let us see what will be the magnetic force. For that, first we will calculate what is the total amount of charge which is moving. So total charge of all free electrons. Remember, only free electrons will move, not all the electrons. There are inner electrons also, they don't move. So the total charge of all free electrons, capital Q, let me write, will be how will you write? Number of free electrons into charge of one electron, which is minus E. I want to derive vector relation, vector. Since you want vector relation, minus sign if there is, you have to include. Okay, I don't want to cheat you by doing magnitude first and then write vector. Directly vector relation I want to derive. That's why if the charge of electron is minus, include the minus sign. So the total charge of all the free electrons will be number of free electrons into charge of one electron. Now, how many electrons will be there? For that, we will write in terms of number density. So if you remember current electricity chapter, last chapter only, we invented one quantity called number density. And if you know Avogadro's number, if you know the molar mass of the substance, like if it is copper wire, and if you know the molar mass, you can easily find number density. In EPL, we have given formula also. I don't know how many of you have checked it. So number density can be found easily in terms of number density, can be found easily in terms of the material. So number of free electrons, we can write number density into volume. Step by step, let us do. Right? Because number density means what? Number by volume, cross multiply. So number will be number density into volume. Now what will be the volume? Let us say this area is A. Then volume of this conductor will be pi r square h. First PU formula. Pi r square matlab cross section area, height matlab this length. So number density into volume into charge of electron minus. So this is the mobile charge. Mobile charge matlab the charge which can move. Right quickly. Okay. Now, if this is the charge which can move, then magnetic force on the wire. Magnetic force on the wire by the magnetic field. Whenever force on what, by what, you have to ask. So magnetic force on the wire by the external magnetic field will be vector form. Q, and each electron is moving with this velocity. So Vd cross V. Right? Just now we have studied this. So this is the magnetic force on the moving charge, which will be the force on the wire. Substitute the value of the formula for the charge. Minus NaL E Vd cross V. Okay. Now one small thing we will do. Look carefully. Look carefully. Minus NaE. No, minus I will take up. NaE minus A. It is just a number, so I can put it wherever I want. I'll write it here. Sorry, minus L. L is just number, length. So I'll put here. So this step you remember, please. Let me put a star mark. So what I'm doing, this minus L I'm writing here. There's a reason why I'm doing that. So now look here. Now, let me create a vector which is called length vector. So let L bar now let L bar be a vector whose magnitude is L, whose magnitude is nothing but length of the wire, and direction is along current. So wherever is current, in that direction, I will take the length vector. So wherever is current, so if current is going up, L vector will be taken upwards. Write fast, write fast. So this I am doing to make the formula look more nice. Right now it looks not very nice. See, too many things are there. Mathematics is all about making formulas look shorter and smaller. F equal to ma, E equal to mc square. These are called beautiful questions or beautiful equations. So what I'm doing is this minus L, which is a number, I'm simply writing it here for the time being. Then I'm making this L into a vector by saying let L bar be a vector. If it is a vector, you have to talk about magnitude and direction. So L bar is a vector which is called length vector, whose magnitude is chosen to be same as the length of the wire. Direction is very, very important. Direction of length vector is chosen always along the current. Okay, students, that means where is your drift velocity vector? Drift velocity, this vector is here. See my diagram. And where will be length vector? Length vector I told along current. Current, if electrons are moving this way, then I say current is opposite. So length vector will be here. So you can see these are like those two vectors, A bar and B bar, in opposite direction. So we can write minus L VD bar as L bar VD or VD L bar. Yes or no? Just now I taught you. If A bar and B bar are in opposite direction, then A bar B is same as minus B bar A. So same knowledge I am applying here. So if you do that, then see what you can do. Equation 1 becomes, so this minus L VD bar, now you can write NAE minus L VD bar can be written as VD L bar. So see how beautifully I have transformed the vector from velocity vector to length vector. And no minus sign also, because minus L VD bar is VD L bar. Okay. Now since there is no more vector in VD, it means VD is just the magnitude, matlab number. So you can move it out or in. So let me write VD now here. So NA VDE L bar cross B bar. Now I will be very much disappointed if you don't tell me what is this. What is this? Yes, this is current. Jahnavi formula, remember or not? Jahnavi. And what is J? Current by area. That is the definition of current density, cross multiply. NaVDE. So for those who have forgotten, I have shown you once more. So this I can write now as simply current. So this looks much better than this formula, the previous one. So this is the formula for magnetic force on a straight conductor, which carries this much current. which has a length L, and direction of this L bar is taken along current when it is kept in a what field? External uniform magnetic field, capital B. Now, ultimately, students, when you want to calculate the force, ultimately you want to calculate, no? So ultimately, when you want to calculate, you have to write ILB sine theta. And what is theta? Angle between this vector and this vector, which means angle between wherever current is flowing and magnetic field, as you can see here in my diagram. So please try to analyze this formula, do some simple concepts like if you keep the length vector perpendicular to magnetic field, length vector perpendicular to magnetic field, then the force will be maximum because sine 90 will be 1. So those simple cases I want you people to try. Okay, please. Done? Derivation is done. Yeah. As the number of formulae keeps increasing, as we study more and more chapter, more and more formulae starts coming. Students, in order to do better in numericals and MCQs, please have a diary or a small paper sheet, keep it like sticky notes or something. Every day some formula is given to you. Please write down those formula with the meaning of the symbols and the condition under which the formula can be used. Like it must be straight wire, it must be uniform magnetic field. So write like this and make sheets with this formula. That will immensely help you to solve numericals, and you will suddenly see that your marks are improving in PTE. When you just understand the derivation, no, it is very good. Yes, you are understanding the derivation. I'm trying to teach properly only. So obviously you are understanding, but that will not help you to score marks. Understanding is one thing. Scoring marks is another thing. In my class, there was a boy called Indra. So I used to get very high marks. Indra used to get less marks, but his understanding was much better. He would be able to explain to people in simple words. The point is, he was good in understanding whatever the teacher is saying, but he's not practicing, he's not remembering things, formulae and all. He's not putting it properly in a systematic order. So in exam time, he gets nervous and he messes it up. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Understanding is different, getting marks is different. If you are happy with understanding, no problem. But if you want good marks at the same time, you have to try to put effort to remember the formula. And the only way to remember the formula is no children of some Baba. The only way to remember the formula is capital R, revision, revision. Okay, fine. Now, let me write the two important formula till now. Magnetic force on a moving charge, Q B bar cross B bar. Magnetic force on a moving charge. Magnetic force on a straight wire carrying current I L bar cross B bar. Okay. Now there is a very easy way to remember this formula from this formula. Okay, see what I do. Divide by time, then you have to multiply with time. You cannot just divide, no. Divide by time, multiply by time. So this is your charge by time current. This is velocity of electrons from one end to the other end. And this is time from one end to the other end. So this becomes your distance vector or displacement vector from one end to the other end. Cross B. Okay, but don't do like this. You will not get any marks. In fact, some teachers may get angry and they may give you negative marks. So don't do this way, but it's a very easy way to remember by multiplying by time, dividing by time. Okay, tell me answers of this very, very quickly without wasting too much time. Suppose this is your straight current carrying wire. They can keep the current carrying wire in any direction. And I apply magnetic field in this direction. What will be the force on this wire? Quickly. The force will be 0. The reason is very simple. Angle will be 0. What was this angle? Angle between the wire and the magnetic field. So if that angle is 0, you know that sine theta will be 0. And if sine theta is 0, cross product will be 0 because cross product contains sine theta. So remember that. So this wire will feel no force. Now, how to find direction of force? Try to do the one perpendicular one you try to do yourself. Okay, now, okay, let me do it, no problem. Quickly, let me do first case, second case. Current is here. Let me apply magnetic field this way. Then theta will be 90. So magnetic force will be ILB, sine 90 will be 1. Okay, sometimes you can write this as BIL. So this is called the BIL formula, BIL. My sister-in-law calls me BIL, brother-in-law. That way you can remember, okay? So ILB or BIL. When theta is 90 bar, please remember that. Now, how to find direction? Cross product. So you have to go from L bar to B bar. Now, if you find that difficult, you have this rule. Same thing. This should be magnetic field. Second finger will be current. Thumb will be force. So in this direction, quickly tell me where will the force be for this situation. Tell me in what direction will be the force. First thing to remember is the force will be always perpendicular to this plane because force vector is I L bar cross B bar. And those who remember vectors or my yesterday's class, those who attended my yesterday's class, you know that this is always perpendicular to this plane. So if L bar is here, why L bar? Because L bar is chosen along current. So if L bar is here, magnetic field is here, force will be either inside the board or it will be outside the board. That is the only two possibilities. Yeah, most of you are saying inward. Let me check. First finger is here, current is up. So you can see my thumb. I won't be able to show you my thumb, this thumb. That will be inside the board. So the force on this wire will be inside the board. So cross means inside. Okay, students? Draw this diagram so that you easily understand. Oh yeah, Sidija, correct. Fine. You were waiting when Pankaj sir will take pause and I will get chance here. So last time, no, I forgot to tell you about the unit of magnetic field. Again, students, you are not reminding me only. Whenever a new quantity is mentioned, new quantity, you must ask unit and dimension. So before I continue, let me quickly finish that part. So SI unit of magnetic field. So to find unit of any quantity, you should, no, Tesla and all, if you say, then directly you are telling. You have to start from the formula which you have. So the formula is what? Magnetic force is QVB sine theta. Correct or not? This is the formula. So what will be your magnetic field? Magnetic force QV sine theta. So SI unit will be, SI unit of what? Magnetic field will be Newton per coulomb, velocity is meter per second. So that is the formula, that is the unit of magnetic field. Sine theta has no unit. Sine 30 degrees is what? Half kg, huh? No, half only, no. So this is the unit of magnetic field. Now it is very boring to say, see, Newton second per coulomb per meter. So instead of saying this way, we give it a special name and it is on the engineer one of the brilliant engineers of our, not our time, but long back, is a Tesla. Okay, contemporary of Edison. So we write this as capital T, and it is to remember this fellow named Tesla. So the unit of magnetic field is Tesla. Dimension, those who want dimension, look carefully now. Dimension. For dimension, you need to first decide whether you will write in terms of charge or in terms of current. Now in MCQs, they may ask in terms of charge also. So you have to be careful. So if they ask in terms of current, usually they will ask in terms of current. Then you know that charge is current into time. Current is charge by time. So dimension of charge will be dimension of current, which we write capital A, same as unit, and T is time, capital T. So what will be the dimension of magnetic field? Force. Force matlab mlt minus 2. Mass into acceleration. Charge matlab A into T. Velocity is lt minus 1. So that will be the dimension. L will cancel. So m t minus 1 plus t will also cancel. mt minus 2. mt minus 2. A will go up. A minus 1. Please check once. Did I do correctly or not? M t and t minus 1 will cancel. So t minus 2. A will go up. Correct na? Okay. So this is the unit. This is the dimension. By the way, you can use this to define magnetic field also. So if they ask define 1 Tesla, then what will you say? I will just tell you in words. For definition, please see EPL. One more thing I want to tell. Our result was extraordinary this time. 100% result is, I'm very happy. That is most important than getting, very good marks. Because I want all the students to, be happy at the end of the exam. When one student is also, he fails, I feel very sad. So all the students passed and 3 state ranks we have got. So that is an extremely good thing. And the way to write in exam so that you get 100 marks is not this way. Pankaj sir will not write, let us consider a straight wire carrying a current I placed in a magnetic field capital B bar. That way I will not be able to teach students. That way if I do. So for writing answers in exam, you have to refer EPL. My notes is to understand the derivation. And to solve more and more MCQs. But for writing the exam, at least the starting part and the middle part, the language part, you have to see from the EPL. Okay, students? So if I ask define 1 Tesla, what will you say? 1 Tesla is that magnetic field which can exert a force of 1 Newton. To a charge of 1 coulomb moving with velocity 1 meter per second in a direction perpendicular to the magnetic field, because you want this also to be 1. So sine theta will be 1 when theta is 90 degrees. So let me repeat. Magnetic field is said to be 1 Tesla when a charge of 1 coulomb moving with velocity of 1 meter per second in that magnetic field at right angles to the magnetic field experiences a force of 1 Newton. Okay. Again, don't worry about writing it. You can see the EPL and study whenever there is PTBs. Okay. Now, let us do some variations of whatever we have learned. Okay. So I told you straight wire in magnetic field experiences a force I L bar cross B bar. Now you see carefully. If the wire is curved, the wire may not be straight. So if your wire is curved like this, and it carries a current I. Look carefully. This is your wire. So if the wire is curved and it carries a current I, and I apply in a, this is very important, uniform magnetic field. Uniform. Then I can write this formula, the force on this magnetic field. How I should do? Very simple. Since it is curved wire, directly this formula you cannot apply. This is for straight wire. But you all know, small pieces of curved wire can be treated as what wire? Small pieces of curved wire can be taken as what kind of wire? Straight wire. Yes, Nisarga. So small pieces of this straight wire can be taken as straight wire. So I can write for a small piece here. Let me take this piece. DL bar. And direction should be along the current. So when the current was here, it was moving this way or not? Current moves in the wire only. So since current was like this, DL bar, this length vector is this way. Please remember, this length vector is always along current. So I cannot apply this formula for the whole wire. I know that. But for a small piece, I can apply. So I can write force on this small piece. I can write I DL bar cross B. Okay. And then you have to find for the other piece, then other piece, then other piece. Matlab you have to integrate. From here, from end A to end B. Okay, so this is the formula you have to use. This is for any magnetic field. Okay, any magnetic field. Right now, this is for any magnetic field. So let me remove this right now. Okay. Now, look carefully. Look carefully. If magnetic field is uniform, which is almost all the time they will say magnetic field is uniform. Then in that case, you don't have to do integration for magnetic field because it is constant. Constant, we don't have to do integration, right? Integration, matlab students, it is like adding. Those of you who have still little bit of doubt, what actually is integration? Already I have made videos for first PU. So just message me that, sir, I want to revise little bit of integration. I will send that video. You cannot see directly in YouTube because it is not for public. It is only for those who has the link. So you can send me a message, write your name and section. I will share with you. Hardly 45 minutes video it is. You will get some idea. So now listen carefully. If magnetic field is uniform, then this is constant in direction, in magnitude. So you don't have to integrate this. And current is always constant in this wire. I mean, it is taken as constant only, not always, but it's constant only. So this is constant, this is constant. Then I can write this formula. Look carefully. I integral DL bar. Only here you have to do the integration. Here. Cross B. Okay. You cannot take this outside here, okay, because this is cross product. No, if you take it outside, what will be here? Nothing. Huh? So if magnetic field is uniform, you don't have to add all of them. You don't have to add the product because this is constant, this is constant. So you have to put this integration only here. Okay. Now, this was your curved wire from A to B. And the vectors which you are adding is the length vector, DL vector. DL vector, 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 DL vector. So if you add all these DL vectors, which vector will you get? If you add vectors, you will get vector. You will get AB, but not this AB. Not this AB. We are not adding length, remember, we are not adding length. If you are adding like this, look here, try to understand this. If I add DL, 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 till here, if I add only DL, then you will get length of the wire. Then you will get this length. But I am adding DL vector. And you know from polygon law, which law? Polygon law, that this vector plus this vector plus this vector plus this vector is which vector? This vector. Correct now? So you will get directly, after doing this integration, you will get this vector. So this vector is what I write as L effective vector. L effective. So please be careful. We are not adding DL. We are adding DL bar. So when you add vectors, you will also get a vector. And the law to add many vectors is called polygon law. So with that in mind, I can write this formula I L effective cross B. So you can see for curved wire also, you can use almost the same formula. What was the formula for straight wire? I L bar cross B bar. For curved wire, almost the same formula. Only thing you have to remember is from one end of the wire to the other end of the wire, you have to draw this vector. And that length or that displacement vector will be your L effective. Okay. So let me give you one simple question. Suppose a semicircular wire carries a current R whose radius is R, and it is falling like, and not falling, it is here, and I apply a magnetic field inside the board. Then what will be the force on this wire if I ask? Magnitude. How will you write? I L effective. Now what will be L? Because it is curved wire. For curved wire, how will you write? Directly L bar. So you see from this end till this end the current is flowing. Then it is like this, let's say. So this is the length you have to take. So this is your L effective, which will be how much? 2R. 2R, right? Very good. So I L effective B sine theta. L effective is here. From initial point to final point. Magnetic field is inside the board. You can see angle is 90 degree. So sine 90 degree. And it will be I 2R B. So that will be the magnetic force on a semicircular wire when magnetic field is applied perpendicular to the plane. Why perpendicular? Because we want this to be sine 90. Otherwise, you have to write sine theta. So for curved wire, in a what magnetic field? Again, uniform. If magnetic field is non-uniform, you will get headache. And that is for JEE Advanced. I'm there to give you people headache. Already I'm giving lots of headache, I know, to JEE Advanced people. But that is life. You have to accept. Okay. If you will be able to say this one mark question, I will feel very happy. A closed current carrying loop is kept in a uniform magnetic field. Uniform word important. Magnetic field should be uniform. And the loop is closed. Then force on the loop is answer is 0. The reason why it is 0 is if your loop is closed like this, it may carry current, and if you apply magnetic field like this, okay. If you don't apply magnetic field, then obviously nobody will ask you any force. But once you apply magnetic field in a current carrying wire, remember each piece will feel force, no doubt. Each piece will feel force. but the total force will be 0 because this integral will be 0. When you add this vector, this vector, this vector and come back here, okay, it will be 0 because there will be no L effective. L effective will be 0. What was L effective? This gap from here to here. Yes or no? This gap was your L effective. So if the wire is closed, there will be no L effective. So L effective will be 0, force will be 0, provided two things. The loop should be closed and the field should be uniform. And I don't mean parts are not feeling force. Parts are feeling force. The force on the loop, the force on the loop, the total force on the loop, that will be 0. Again, one more question, please remember. Now, we would like to discuss a very simple 3-mark derivation. Velocity selector, it is called. So why it is called velocity selector, that we will discuss after we finish the derivation. But first understand something, what the derivation we are going to do. So look here. A charge Q is moving with velocity v bar. A charge Q is moving with velocity v bar in a region containing cross electric field and magnetic field. Okay, such that the velocity is perpendicular to E bar and velocity is perpendicular to B bar. So let me draw a diagram to explain what I have told here. So let's show this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. Actually, z-axis we cannot show. Z-axis should be here actually, here. But let us show this way, okay? So what I'm saying is a charge Q is moving with velocity vector v bar in a region which contains both electric field and magnetic field. And those two fields are crossed. Cross matlab they are perpendicular to each other. Such that the velocity is perpendicular to both of them. So if here is your velocity vector and this is the charge. Okay, charge let's take positive only. And here I'm applying electric field. And here, don't draw this, I have to check once. And here I'm applying magnetic field. So you can see this diagram matches with whatever I have written. Velocity vector is moving in a region where there is electric field and magnetic field. Okay, which are crossed. Now, the charge will feel two forces. Why sir two forces? Electric field will apply force, magnetic field will apply force. So let us draw the forces on the charge. Where will be electrostatic force? Electrostatic force means due to electric field. It is a positive charge. So where will the electrostatic force? Wherever is electric field, because the formula for electrostatic force is QE. QE. So wherever is E, there will be electrostatic force. So it will be along y-axis. Electrostatic force will be along y-axis. Where will be magnetic force? Now for magnetic force, directly you cannot say right hand curl rule or Fleming's left hand rule. So tell me the force on this charge due to magnetic field. Everybody try, please put your fingers. The first finger should be along magnetic field. Magnetic field is out here. Charge is moving that side. So here you can see, magnetic field is out, positive z-axis. Z-axis is like this now. Here. Okay. So this is your magnetic field. Charge is moving this way, so force will be down. So magnetic force will be down. So we have arranged the diagram in such a way. See, if I change the magnetic field that side, if I put magnetic field that side, then force on the charge, magnetic force will be upwards. Then I don't want that. That also you can study if you want, but I want this case. So in this case, the force on the charge by electric field and by magnetic field are in the force, remember, not the magnetic fields and the electric field. The force on the charge by electric field and by magnetic field are in opposite direction. Understood? So it is possible for the net force to be zero. So if the charge experiences zero net force, then what is the condition? The magnitude of this should balance the magnitude of this. Matlab, if this is 5 Newton, this should be 5 Newton. Direction already I have made it opposite by using this kind of magnetic field and electric field. Any one you change, answer will change. You can change both, then no problem. You make electric field down, magnetic field inward, then it will not change. Then the forces will be still opposite. This will be here, this will be there. But I want the forces to be in opposite direction. So if this is 5 Newton, this is 5 Newton, total force will be 0 because they are in opposite direction. So let us see when this will happen. For what velocity this will happen. Let us check. So what is the formula for electrostatic force? Q into E, magnitude only. And magnetic force, QVB sine theta. What is theta? Angle between velocity and magnetic field. This is your theta. So 90 degree. Right? The theta which we write here is angle between velocity and magnetic field. Velocity is along x-axis. Magnetic field is along z-axis. You can see the angle is 90. So Q will cancel. So E will be BB. So V will be E by B. Very important point. So if the speed of the particle happens to be equal to this ratio, electric field divided by magnetic field, then the force on the charge will be zero. Net force will be zero, which means this charge will continue to move where? Since net force is zero, it will continue to move undeflected. The charge will continue to move undeflected without any change, without changing velocity. Without changing velocity. Why? Because there is no force. Newton's first law says if net force is zero, acceleration will be zero. Okay, so keep this ratio in your mind. Now, based on this one CET question, you see, CET question, they will ask what is the dimension of E by B? Dimension. And many people who don't know this formula will start putting dimension of electric field, magnetic field. It will take a lot of time. Already we know this relation. So dimension of this should be equal to this. And since it is velocity, Prakriti, small mistake you have done. Since it is velocity, it will be L T minus 1. Okay. L T minus 1. Okay, it's okay. While typing, I know some mistakes we do. So if they want dimension of this or dimension of this separately, then we have to do in a lengthy way, right? But if they want dimension of this ratio, then directly remember that this ratio is equal to this. There is one formula in physics. So if you remember that way, you can find dimension very, very easily. Last point, I'll try to explain why it is called velocity selector. Why the topic is velocity selector. So what I told you till now, I told you if charge is moving in this fashion, if charge is moving in this direction and you apply electric field upwards, and you apply magnetic field outwards, how do you show outwards? Like this. So these dots represent magnetic field. Then it is possible that this charge will feel no force, provided the V is equal to V. So what we do, students, is in a region, we create electric field. How, sir? Simple, ma, capacitor. Like this you take. Make this positive, make this negative. Electric field will be uniform, upwards. Already you know. And magnetic field outwards, how to make? Put north pole that side, south pole this side. Magnetic field will be outwards. Then you make charges move. Now, let us imagine there are many, many particles. A beam of ions or I don't whatever they are, atoms which have lost some electrons like that. So a beam of electrons are coming like this with different velocity. Different velocity. Okay, now this is actually a very small beam. Okay, very thin beam it is. In fact, this will be like this only in real life, because if small atoms are moving in a line, they may look like this. Okay, so I can zoom this and show you like this. I can zoom this part and show you like this. Now what I do, I make them pass through this region. All these ions, I make them pass in this region, and this side I keep something like this. Okay, like this. So those charges which are coming with velocity v equals to E by B. Those charges which are coming with this velocity E by B, those charges will feel no force. So those charges will go straight, these ones. And those which are moving with more than this velocity or less than this velocity, they will feel either more magnetic force. I think magnetic force was down. Either more magnetic force they may feel, or they may feel more electrostatic force. So because of which those particles will deflect. Okay, so those particles will not be allowed to pass, and certain particles with this velocity, they are allowed to pass. So that way we are filtering a beam of particles having different velocities into a beam of particles having one velocity. That is very important. Later chapters, no, when you will study about dual nature of light particles, that time you will come to know that all these things are related to optics also. But right now it will be difficult to understand. But you simply remember that when there are many particles moving with different velocity, those particles, those charged particles whose velocity happens to be this ratio, those will come out undeflected. Others will be deflected, so they will be stopped. So this way you are filtering, you are selecting from a set of velocities, one velocity, which you want. Why, sir, which I want? Because E and B, you can control. How much voltage you apply, how much distance you keep, that only will control electric field, no? Yes or no? So electric field and magnetic field, you can decide. So based on this ratio, you can decide the velocity. And only those particles having this velocity will come straight, undeflected. Thank you for today. Tomorrow we will learn about cyclotron. Cyclotron. So if you want, you can revise and come. Thank you. Thank you. I'll end the meeting now, students. Bye.